And we're underway then. A pivotal month lies ahead for Arsenal in the BWSL. The Gunners face each of the top three over the next 4 weeks. A trip away to Chelsea next up in the league. Manchester United have gone early and gone big in the January transfer window, recruiting proven elite European talent. Can that help them get over the line?
Well, they needed it. They definitely needed to add to their squad, and you heard Mark, the Manchester United manager, saying that they needed the break at Christmas, and that, I think, is a good indication that they needed to bulk up. It's always been a problem for United. They have good players, they've got a good first 11, a couple of good players on the bench, but when it comes to the BWSL and this time of the season, they needed more.
Here come Arsenal, though. Mornham, all across, easily cut out, but comes back to the Norwegian midfielder. Here's Mead, who was awarded with a trophy to mark her 250th Arsenal appearance, which she made just before Christmas. Captain Kim Little. It's back with Borber in goal. No Daphne van Domselaar, and that might be something that Manchester United will try and target, a potential weakness for Arsenal, their goalkeeper, Emma.
Absolutely. It's very difficult to come across high-quality, top-class goalkeepers in the game, and once yours is out, injured, not available, it's very, very difficult, and it does create a bit of a worry for everyone in front of them. I think she's done okay since she's been in there, and Arsenal have managed quite well, but it's when you come up against the top teams, that's when you can really see it.
It's back with Miyazawa, who recently signed the new contract at United till 2029, key part of their midfield. As a former Manchester United striker, fouls the former Arsenal midfielder Dominic Janssen.
These two teams always excite me, and how they press and how they shape up to try and stop the opposition. They're both very, very good at it. It's the Arsenal high press, and I thought United did really well the last time they played each other in that 0-0 draw with their high press. It's a different story here at the Emirates, so Arsenal always perform well. They always know how to play out and beat the press.
Manchester United throw, and then Arsenal actually haven't got a great recent record against United. They've only won 2 of their last 8 BWSL meetings against the Manchester side. Their home record much better, though. Riviere with the throw by Catley.
That's going to be a good battle, isn't it? Jade Riviera and Smith down that side. Riviera wasn't available the last game. I think she is putting a very quick tackle in there, trying to win the ball back.
Casey McCabe playing with fire a little bit there. Park waits for the overlapping run. Nifty footwork, finds Sandberg. This is nice from United. Ball across is a good one, and the header tipped on to the post. And Mallard puts it out for a goal kick. Good attack from Manchester United, and Arsenal very close to conceding early.
It's really good play here from Jess Park, and it's a great header from Rolfo, and an even better save from Morbe. She's done really well there, just to get her hand on it. Comes back in, and Olivia Smith, a little bit of a miss kick, but they got a goal kick from it. It's great play from United, and Jess Park in particular, with that support as well from Sandberg.
Nervy moment for Arsenal, but that will give Annika Borber lots of confidence, that early save.
It will, and Fridolina Rolfo did really well just to get across the Arsenal defenders. Give the whole team a bit of a boost.
Mallard playing off the right with Turlin down the centre. Ball in out by Williamson, who's perfectly positioned, as she so often is, for Arsenal in a defensive capacity. Arsenal give it up. Here is Rolfo. And that surely is a free kick. No, referee content, the ball was won.
It's a good press though from United, nice and high, not allowing Arsenal to play through the central areas, or definitely trying to stop them doing that.
Rolfo with the searching ball. She's Manchester United's top goal scorer in the Champions League, Rolfo, with 3. Has 2 in the BWSL as well, and nearly got a third right there.
Yeah, good experience in the Champions League, and something that's always going to add to your team. She knows where the goal is, that's for sure. Good, strong player. Ended up playing wing-back for Barca. She is an attacking player. She plays more of an attacking role for Sweden. She does that so well.
Positive start for Manchester United. Miyazawa couldn't find Riviere, and McCabe tries to set Smith away but ends up just giving the ball away. Here's the Canadian fullback. Options in the box. McCabe does well just to stand her ground. Arsenal struggling with that high press though.
Yeah, and United they're a direct team. They generally don't mess about with it too much, building up. They get on it and they try and get as high as possible, and the ball as high as possible, as quick as possible. And see Jade Riviera there, just held on to it just a little bit too long. Wasn't much movement in the box either for her.
Cut out by Catley. Now here's Caldente. Can Arsenal work their way out of their own half? Last time these sides met at the Emirates in the BWSL, it was an absolute thriller. Arsenal won 4-3. More of the same this afternoon. Wonderful crossfield pass by Caldente. Here's Olivia Smith. One can't hold it up, and now come United on the counter. Catley alive to it though and takes no chances.
No, you can see exactly what both teams are trying to do there. Arsenal just trying to suck in United so they can get the ball out and switch it to the opposite side where there's loads of space, where Kate McCabe in that occasion had plenty of space. But what happens when Arsenal lose the ball is they create those gaps, and United just trying to find those pockets quickly. Melvin Mallard is a player that you want to get on the ball in 1v1 situations.
7 goals in all competitions for the French forward so far this campaign, 5 of them in the BWSL. And she's now got to up her game as well to compete with the incoming Leah Schuler, who's on the bench today. Here comes Park, trying to wriggle in between 2 Arsenal players. Kim Little comes away with it. Well worked forward. Mariona Caldente.
United are really trying to be front-footed. They're sending Maya Letizia into that middle to try and create the overload, or at least match Arsenal in that central areas when they're out of possession. There's plenty of movement from the Arsenal players, isn't there? If you look, you can see Emily Fox is pushing right up there. She had pushed right up. And on the other side, you often see Kate McCabe coming inside, inverted and higher, just trying to create a little bit of space for Olivia Smith, who drops off. It's just all It's quite tactical at the moment from both teams.
Letitia. Square ball to Dominic Janssen, who of course won the BWSL with Arsenal back in 2019. She started in all but one game in that winning campaign for Arsenal.
Very solid player, Dominic Janssen. Midfielder at Arsenal, an out-and-out holding midfielder, number 6.
Playing centre-back this afternoon for United, as she has done for the majority of this season, with Millie Turner out injured. But Millie Turner is back on the bench, and she'll have to fight for her place, because the United midfield is also quite competitive with Zagoti Olma, Miyazawa, Park, Toon.
Yeah, and it's been working. So it's going to be a difficult time for Millie Turner to try and make her way back in there, because I think Dominique Janssen has also done really well in centre-back. But having said that, when Turner was in the squad, they had an excellent record, didn't they, defensively?
Here is Janssen, she lets it go out of play. And yeah, you speak about that defensive record, and that's something that Mark Skinner has really prided himself on in recent years. The defensive record. As for Arsenal, Renee Slagers signed that new 3-year contract. And Claire Wheatley, the Arsenal Director of Women's Football, said that Slagers has proven to be an elite coach, and that's why they've given her that deal.
Yeah, that's where results matter, and if you win the Champions League in this day and age, in this environment, it's worth something, especially beating Barca.
Fox finds Russo. He's yet to really get in the game for Arsenal. It's been a little sluggish in their start, yet to fully get going. Manchester United with the best and only chance of the game so far, that early header from Frilina Rolfo. Here come Arsenal though, Olivia Smith against Riviere. Mornham, shot is blocked, it like a tame effort anyway. Back it goes to McCabe. Another misstep from Frida Mornham, but Arsenal will regain possession through McCabe.
It's really good play from Arsenal, from Leah Williamson, and that is what she brings to this team, finding those passes, trying to break that block. She lovely pass into the centre midfield to break up.
Emily Fox finds Russo. The ball backwards. Couldn't find Mornham, and the Arsenal crowd getting behind the team now.
Well, that's what they do. They just keep the ball really nicely. They're trying to find the gaps, they're trying to switch it out, they're being patient. And when they do get it into the opposition box, they do look really dangerous. And it might not be as many times as they'd want, but when they do get it there, they do look very, very likely to score.
Riviere wins that race, and also the resultant foul.
No, I'd agree with Russo on that one, to be quite honest. You can see, well, actually it looks more like a foul in the replay, so I take that back.
It's a good thing you're not a referee, Emma Byrne.
Oh, I'd let everything go.
Our referee
be consistent. I'd be very consistent.
Our referee for today shares a surname with you, though, Abigail Byrne.
Probably related. Of yours?
Yeah.
Probably related.
Cleared by Fox. Wonderful flick on by Russo. Here is Mead. Mornham. Russo with the flick on, but Caldente hadn't read the move her teammate had made.
You just feel that if Arsenal can break that initial press, they're going to create plenty of chances here.
Cleared downfield by Sandberg, who's played the third most minutes for Manchester United this season in all competitions. Wasn't always a starter under Mark Skinner, but she's really earned her place. The Swedish left back might help as well, playing alongside her compatriot Fridolina Rolfo on that left-hand side.
Yeah, she's definitely grown as a player and developed under Mark Skinner. It also helps that Ona Batier's left the club and there is a spot for her in there.
Quarter of an hour played, United the only chance of the game, Arsenal growing into it. Here's Smith, Caldente now, packed penalty area, gets the shot off with the left though and sends it far and high into the stands.
It's good footwork though from Mariona initially. Again, Arsenal finding that big switch wasn't dealt with very well by Riviera. Just find the Mariona, nice footwork. She'll be disappointed with that one.
Slager spoke about how Arsenal is a special club in her recent announcement of the new contract. So pride was another word she used a lot about being Arsenal manager, and here come her side with Beth Mead. Headed clear by Janssen and hooked further away by Rolfo. Arsenal's momentum is building. Here's Olivia Smith. The cross is blocked and it's behind for the first corner of the game for Arsenal.
Yeah, just edging it at the moment. Arsenal, we spoke how dangerous they are in this area. They're good on set pieces as well. It'll be certainly something Mark Skinner has spoken about. They're just really struggling to clear their lines.
In-swinger from Mead by Janssen. And there is an Arsenal player down with a head injury, so play will have to be stopped, as is the protocol. It's Steph Catley.
It was a brave header by Dominique Janssen there. And Catley's trying to block her.
I think it actually strikes the side of Catley's face.
Catley's job there would be to try and block Janssen and allow Williamson to come in for the head, but wasn't expecting it, I don't think.
After that early opportunity from Manchester United, it's been all Arsenal really in terms of possession, but maybe lacking a bit of attacking thrust.
I think they're taking their time to get going. That's what it looks like. I think the job here today is to be patient, to try and find the gaps, and you know they're so good at that, and they're confident. They're so confident here at the Emirates. I think that's the big thing for them. Speak about them building a fortress. I think they're just so comfortable here. They know they're going to score. That's a high priority for them, obviously, but they're happy to be patient and find those gaps and just apply the pressure, and probably more so towards the latter stages of the game. You know, it's difficult for any team to come here and sit off and defend against them, as we've seen in so many games before Christmas, them scoring at the end or finding a way in the last 20 minutes.
Looks like Steph Catley will be okay to continue. They're just doing some concussion protocols, and there's a look at Arsenal's new signing. Holmberg, 19-year-old from Hammarby.
signing for Arsenal. Generally plays right back. Spoke about how Arsenal need a replacement right back if anything ever happens to this player here, Fox. And you know, she travels a lot, back and forth to the States to play internationals, and sometimes the Arsenal games come thick and fast after international duty and it's difficult to recover, so they always needed that kind of player. Holberg is, as you said, 19 years of age, plenty of years left to mould her into exactly what they need.
And Arsenal are very busy in the next couple of months. They're in the League Cup semi-final against Manchester United. They've got the FA Cup next weekend, the League, Champions League playoff games, 2 of those against Leuven. Russo gets the ball in. Will it break for Smith? Great save by Tullis-Joyce, and then it's been given as a free kick. Nearly breaking for Smith in the box, though.
Again, it's that hold-up play. It's a great turn from Russo. Again, United not clearing their lines well. It ends up falling to Letizia here, who just does not clear past Monum. I think it was given as offside in the end, was it? It's a good save either way from Tullis-Joyce.
She's been such a good signing for United, Tullis-Joyce. She did have a bit of a difficult game when Manchester United came to the Emirates last season, though. Her error for the Chloe Kelly opener. But errors from Tullis-Joyce are few and far between.
She's improved so much at United. Following Tullis-Joyce in her career, she was good, but had a lot of room for improvement. Coming from United States, wasn't great with her feet, made a lot of mistakes. She has definitely matured here in this team, and she is becoming one of the world's best, and so much so that getting recognised for her national team as well.
Morgan coming forward finds Smith. And to cut into that right foot and curl it goalwards. It's good defending from Manchester United.
It's these little moments that United have to get on top of. They're defending okay. When they do clear, and it does go to United player, it's really important that that ball sticks. You can see even in the body language right now, it's difficult for them. They're just retreating the whole time.
Here's Fox. She'll settle for the corner. Trots Republic of Ireland international Katie McCabe to deliver. Here comes near post. A scramble, but Janssen able to clear. Back in by McCabe. Out by Rolfo. United trying to press Arsenal, but they're pretty press resistant, particularly players like Mariona Caldente. Smith into the penalty area, the ball across. Another corner for Arsenal.
United are so deep, and they're trying to push players out, but they're only sending 2 at a time. Elizabeth Turlin pushing up, Jess Park pushing up. See what they're trying to do in their set pieces as well. In this case, they're just trying to block that front post, and it's usually Leah Williamson who is the player they're trying to get across.
Taken quickly. Beth Mead. Mariona Caldente. McCabe now. Kim Little, and it's side netting for frustration on the face of Scottish international, because that was a really good Arsenal chance.
It was well worked. You can see Monaghan plays it short. It's a lovely little ball into Katie McCabe from Mariona, and you're expecting that to go in the back of the net, and so is Kim Little. You can see how frustrated she is. But again, we're talking about United's defending. They're sending one out for the corner. It's too easy for Arsenal to create those numbers up out there. They're just playing it round them.
She doesn't score tons of goals in the league, Kim Little. In fact, her last BWSL goal was against United in that 4-3 win last season here. Yet to get on the score sheet this campaign. Caldente. Mead can't keep it alive or in play.
Yeah, you know, Kim Little started at Arsenal as a 10 and sometimes a 9, a real goal-scoring machine. She was such a class player, even at such a young age back then. You just couldn't stop her, and slowly progressed a little bit backwards and has become more of a playmaker from deeper. Just an excellent player in general all round. And now that Arsenal have got the likes of Mariona Caldente, Rousseau and Fox and McCabe on both channels, she can afford to stay a little bit deeper, so we'll forgive her for not scoring so many goals. You'd still have her in your team though, wouldn't you?
Yep, she's very much one of the first names on the Arsenal team sheet when she's available. When she wasn't available before Christmas, Arsenal struggled without her. She missed 2 BWSL games, and Arsenal drew both of them. Here she is now, Little. Talking of Arsenal midfielders, or potential Arsenal midfielders, Georgia Stanway announced that she'll be leaving Bayern Munich at the end of the season, won't be renewing her contract. A lot of reports that Arsenal are interested in the England midfielder. Arsenal working out to Emily Fox. Patient approach play from the home side. Mead has it stolen off her toe from Dominic Janssen.
Well, it's all Arsenal. They're just really enjoying the lion's share of the possession here. You can see that possession, 64% for Arsenal. Shot 6, United 1. I mean, that is painting the picture right there for you. But the thing is, for me, with United, is they're just giving the ball back. We've seen an opportunity there for Mallard, and just back to Arsenal.
In terms of the value of the chances they've created, though, Manchester United's chance, that one shot on target from Rolfo, probably the best opportunity of the game.
Well, it is how the story goes for both of these teams normally. You see Arsenal enjoying possession, although the last time the 0-0 result was very, very even across the stats in both teams, but usually we have Arsenal enjoying the ball, being patient, and then United, when they do have that 1 or 2 opportunities, they do really well with them. But it's a dangerous game to play, because depending on what mood Arsenal are in, if they score earlier on, I feel like United will be in trouble.
There's Manchester United's new big January signing, Lea Schuler, German international, signed from Bayern Munich. She's already been on the winning side against Arsenal this season when her former side met Arsenal in the Champions League.
I like her. I think she's a really good player. Always admired her. She's playing for Bayern Munich. No frills, knows how to score, works really hard for her team. She'll do really well at United.
Might we see her in the second half? Kim Little. Smith. Brilliant challenge from Riviere. Won the ball, but has left her Canadian teammate in a heap.
a great tackle, isn't it? From Riviera, brilliant. She's so quick and sharp. Battle. It's a really interesting one out that side. Again, just United when they're on the ball, just trying to get forward nearly too much. I think they can take a leaf out of Arsenal's book and just settle it down. Try and keep the ball. They don't have to go forward all the time. Can they just enjoy a moment, a possession? They can recycle the ball, keep it. I think Tullis Joyce needs a bit of attention, but I think this is where Mark Skinner has his moment to get his point across, and I'd be very surprised if it wasn't that message, just trying to keep the ball, recycle it. If you need to pass back, do it, just try and switch it.
This is Mark Skinner's 100th WSL game in charge at Manchester United. He's got a pretty decent record, but after that announcement he said, I've still got lots that I want to achieve at Manchester United. Of course, he won the FA Cup for the first time at the club. This season they're in the Champions League for the first ever time, competing on all four fronts still.
I think it's been a difficult time as well for Mark Skinner. There's a lot going on in the background. Also, there's been a change of staff, quite a rotation of staff in there, and that's always difficult for a manager. They're doing well, they're doing okay, they're doing all right in the Champions League. They're attracting players, as you can see. Once you see those big names coming to the club, it's a really, really positive sign.
And it'll be so key for them to remain in the Champions League. As things stand, they're just outside one of the Champions League places, behind Arsenal. A win here, and they would leapfrog the Gunners up to third place.
That's why it's so important. That's why this game has got a lot more riding on it than just any WSL game. This is about Champions League spots and kicking on from here the rest of the season.
Applause ringing around the Emirates on the 32nd minute for Kyra Cooney-Cross, who is Arsenal's number 32. She's on compassionate leave at the moment in Australia. So nice show of support from the Arsenal fans for her. Man United with a rare bit of possession in the Arsenal half, and they win a throw-in. Mallard with the flick on, but Little is the beneficiary. Swung out by Leo Williamson. Such a key player for England and Arsenal. She was sorely missed at the start of the campaign for the Gunners.
There's a better press from United. They seem to be very well set up when it goes deeper into Arsenal's half, when it goes into the back line. The press is good, nearly player for player. The problem is when Arsenal do find those spaces and are able to switch it out, it's a real struggle for United.
Fox can only clear it for a United throw, which they take quickly, and Fox looks like she's in a bit of discomfort. Rolfe could ball in, and it hits Mallard in the face rather than an active move from her to head the ball. Then Arsenal get the free kick. Chance for a bit of attention for Emily Fox.
I don't think Mallard was expecting that one, was she? You can see Rolfe did well to get the ball in and across. Mallard was probably expecting Steph Catley to get something on that.
Yeah, thin line between heading the ball and being hit in the face.
Well, she's saying it came off her shoulder.
This isn't a good sign or a good sight for Arsenal, Emily Fox, but as you mentioned, Emma Byrne, that's why they've signed Holmberg on the bench. They also have Taylor Hines as well, who can come into that position.
And it's never good when it's anything to do with hip flexors or anything niggling there. And she's so quick, Emily Fox. This is always going to be a bit of a worry. little niggles like that. You can see Smila Holmberg warming up there. Obviously that's more of a natural replacement than Taylor Hines, who's left-footed.
10 minutes to go till half-time though, and Renee Slagers won't really want to make a defensive change unless she has to. I also suspect she wouldn't have been planning to bring Holmberg in just yet. She's only been with Arsenal for about a week.
We want to see it though, don't we? We'd love to see her getting on the pitch.
Yeah, she's an exciting talent. So many exciting young Scandinavian players joining the WSL. Not just Arsenal who've made signings. Tottenham signed Signe Gopse, Norwegian forward.
Well, she's a very exciting player. Been following her progress in Champions League. Excited to see her play.
Of course, the Swedish league runs from March to about November, so they're in their off-season, so it's a good opportunity for players to switch teams. And there's Jodie Taylor watching on, recently promoted to Arsenal's technical director, a new role. That was announced alongside the contract extension for Renee Slagers. So Arsenal readjusting their footballing hierarchy.
Yeah, it's clever. They're getting their house in order. You know, we speak about new signings, who they need, but also it's about keeping who they have and making sure that they secure their players and staff. Sometimes clubs forget about that.
Manchester United has also made moves to secure players, taking out options on a number of different players, including Ella Toon, to add an extra year to their contracts to ensure that no one leaves on a free. There was a time when big players left Manchester United on a free. Alessia Russo, of course, is one of those, playing for Arsenal now, and Mary Earp, so they're trying to prevent that from happening in the future, which seems sensible.
Well, it's a must. If they want to be considered one of the top clubs, you can't be seen to be losing your players to teams in your league. And when you start keeping them and convincing them to stay, that is when you become a big club.
Sandberg well positioned to nick the ball back. Rolfo, though, shows too much of it to Mornham. Here's Fox back on the pitch and looks like she's okay. Couldn't find the pass to Mead. Well, one back by Williamson. Intricate play this from Arsenal, and Williamson's there in the right flank. Can't win the throw-in.
Well, speaking of new players getting on the pitch, I would not be surprised if we did see Schuler coming on, just for the simple fact of trying to hold the ball up and keep it and be first to the ball. When you're playing this kind of formation and style of play, soaking up the pressure, the whole idea for your number 9 and number 10 is when the ball is broken and released, you can keep it and you're first to it, and that hasn't been the case yet for United.
Back to Annika Borba, who, aside from that really good early save from that Rolfo header, has had nothing to do with her hands. It's just sometimes been brought into play with back pass, but beyond that, she's been a spectator. Great control by Rousseau, so good at holding up the ball for Arsenal. Mornham now. Rousseau with the flick on, here's Fox. She lifts it into the box, out by Riviere. Here's Mallard. What can Manchester United do now? Can they hold up the ball, keep possession? Williamson goes hunting Turland. Smart play from Kim Little to evade Rolfo, but her pass inaccurate.
I definitely think there's an air of rustiness with United. They look a little bit off it, they don't look sharp, they're second to every ball, they're holding onto the ball too much. And Arsenal are just picking them off and winning it back, and whether that's a mentality thing, just, you know, sharpening up after the Christmas break, but definitely need to change that at half-time, and it needs to be very, very quick and a big change for the second half.
Letitia. As for the forward run of Rolfo, Arsenal certain she's offside, but it'll be going behind anyway for a goal kick. Spoke ahead of kickoff about how good Arsenal have been under Slegers here at home. Unbeaten in 2025. No other team managed that. In fact, the Gunners have lost just one home BWSL game in their last 26. That last loss was at home to Chelsea back in October 2024. That's in the league, of course.
Yeah, they're very, very comfortable here, and then they look comfortable here today as well. Obviously, scoring will be something they want to change, but they do look like they're on top of the game. Perhaps they can be a little bit more aggressive, moving the ball forward, trying to find their players, Alessia Russo to feet, and then the runs off Russo, probably be asking a little bit more of that of Monum. Maybe even Caitlin Ford coming on can help that.
Well dealt with by Williamson. Arsenal so good at those one-touch passages of play.
They are good, but they're in that case, United have to realise they're leaving. Arsenal are leaving 1v1s at the back, and it's not a problem because United can't seem to retain the ball. But if they do, there's chances for them.
Chance here for Arsenal, though, as the ball's put in, and it's not well away by Letitia. It's a lot more emphatic from Miyazawa. Caldente finds Mornham. And it goes to Catley. Arsenal moving the ball around nicely. Russo. Beth Mead now, we know what she'll want to do and cut back. She does, but shot from Mornham is a little wayward.
Yeah, and too many of them, just from in general, from the team as a whole. Space there, you've got to get those on target. You've got to ask questions of Fallon Tullis-Joyce.
And we speak about Arsenal being very comfortable here at the Emirates, and often they are very comfortable in games, but they've drawn a few too many if they want to compete at the top. 4 draws so far. They've only lost once, but those draws costing them in terms of their position in the table. I suspect a New Year's resolution for the Gunners will be to score a few more goals.
Yeah, definitely turn the screw. They're always in control here, and it's always little mistakes. They're just not punishing teams enough and allowing teams to get back in the game. And sometimes it's not through goals, sometimes it's just silly mistakes, a silly pass, problems at the back, corners, not going and meeting the ball. Those little things, again, I think it's a mentality thing, just not turning the screw and being more aggressive and ruthless. That's definitely a message in that dressing room, be more ruthless. And it's the same here today, to be quite honest. They've been quite casual, I would say. And for a team that's had so much possession here and so many entries into United's defensive third, the fact is Tullis-Joyce has not had much to do yet.
When Arsenal have had opportunities, the Kim Little one for Mornham, and a couple of balls into the box that led to a pinball, have all been well dealt with by Manchester United from a defensive perspective. As we're into stoppage time, of which there is 6 minutes of added time. I
think even there, just looking at United, Letitia was always going to give it back to Tullis Joyce there, and nobody moves for that second phase, knowing it's going to go back to the keeper, and just allowing Arsenal just to step on and put pressure on them.
Jansen had lost a boot. I wonder if they're new boots she got for Christmas.
I don't think they need to ask Santi for new boots. They come in fairly regularly for these players.
Manchester United, of course, lose their boots on a Champions League away game recently. Out by Williamson. On by Catley, and that will be a foul for Arsenal. A little reckless from Zgotti-Olma.
Yeah, definitely a little bit late. She's got form, Olma. It's probably why I like her so much. She's a great midfielder, brilliant for Sweden. I think in the last year she's really come into form, hasn't she? Brighton, always a good player, Brighton, solid midfielder, but definitely showed her worth over the last couple of seasons.
She played with Lea Schuler at Bayern Munich as well when they were both there, so that's a bit of familiarity for the new German signing. Seconds ticking away then in injury time, and pretty equal. Arsenal with more of the ball, creating too many opportunities though. United still with the best chance of the first half, that Rolfo header which was tipped onto the bar. Not seen too much of Olivia Smith, 2 goals in her last 2 in the BWSL before today.
I think Jade Riviere is doing a good job out there. It's difficult when Smith comes up against somebody just as quick as her. But in that run there, you could see she made a really nice run. Leah Williamson just played it a little bit too wide for her, but a more central ball and she could have been in there.
Jansen deals with that, but Sandberg can't quite keep it in. By Zgotti-Olma. One back by Caldente. Chance for an Arsenal attack here at the end of the first half. Pretty robust challenge that from Letitia. She's a defender that's never shy in the tackle.
A little bit disappointed by United's performance, to be honest. You know, we're expecting this to be a big clash, but they just haven't kept the ball well at all.
Here's Olivia Smith. Mornham going for the pass. She's had half opportunities in this first half, the Norwegian attacker, but it hasn't quite sat for her, and that will be a free kick for Arsenal. Riviere, that time a little too physical, and a yellow card too for the defender, which is not what you need as a defender if you're up against Olivia Smith and you've got a whole half to play still.
Yeah, I think the yellow card for that tackle alone hasn't been a build-up. I think the referee thought perhaps her foot was a little bit too high. But no, you're right. You don't want to be playing cautiously against somebody who's so quick and moves the ball quickly.
Looks like Katie McCabe might take this, her or Beth Mead. We know how good McCabe is from a dead ball, but it's perhaps a little wide for the shot.
I'd say wide for a left footer, yes.
Here's Katie McCabe, lifts it into the box. There's Catley across goal and cleared away by Zgotti-Olma. For a moment it looked like that was going to nestle in the back of the net.
It's a great opportunity there.
Back in by McCabe. Again Catley's there, and Russo then on the follow-up, and good save by Tullis Joyce because the ball moved after a deflection.
It's a fantastic opportunity for Arsenal. It's a great ball back in that second phase. Russo, this is what she does great, doesn't she? She just finds that space and time, that split moment where she can have a shot. But the free kick originally, good idea. Arsenal recognise there's weakness there in that back post. And Steph Catley again, expect more from her. She'll be disappointed that she didn't get a clean strike on that because she had the time.
That flurry of opportunities, probably Arsenal's best. Highest XG chances at the end of this first half. Still we play on, 6 minutes have been played. Referee looks at both watches. Chance perhaps for a last Arsenal or even Manchester United attack. Mallard as well to find Rolfo. And the referee brings the first half to a close then. A tight tactical first 45 minutes. Manchester United started the strongest, a header which was tipped onto the bar by Annika Borba in the first 5 minutes from Fridolina Rolfo. After that, Arsenal took control of the ball, took control of possession, created a number of opportunities. Kim Little with a chance, and at the end, Russo and Catley also having opportunities. But at half-time, it is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Jess Park gets us back underway then. She was pretty anonymous in that first 45 minutes. Park scored at the Emirates versus Arsenal last season for Manchester City, though. Can she produce a similar feat this afternoon? 0-0 the score then, as it was when these sides last met in the league earlier this season in Manchester. The crowd a little quiet as they come back from the concourse. Pies and pints in tow.
Both are good at the Emirates. I can definitely concur with that.
Here's Letitia, the Manchester United captain, played every minute for United in all competitions this season. Such a crucial player for them. Starting to get more minutes under Serena Wiegman for England as well, although that might be limited a bit now that Leah Williamson's back. Referee giving the foul to Manchester United. Olivia Smith can't quite believe it.
You can already see United trying to commit more players higher up, perhaps put a bit more pressure on Arsenal. And also, you can see that they're trying to find that midfield, particularly Miyazawa, who is and has been free a lot in the first half, and generally is the midfielder to try and get on the ball.
Ready for seconds.
Away by Williamson. Turlen collects. Neither manager wanting to use their bench at half-time, so it's the same 11 that started this afternoon. United, of course, with Leah Schuler on the bench, that Bayern Munich, former Bayern Munich forward.
We'll definitely see changes. Managers in general don't like to make those changes at half-time. They tend to like to give the players an extra 10 minutes or so. And that's where we'll see the changes, mainly in the 55 to 65 minutes.
Russo manages to hold on to it. Manchester United pressing high, but a drop off as Caldente comes away with it. Here's Williamson. Inaccurate pass, a little rusty from an Arsenal centre-back. Only played 9 WSL minutes ahead of today. Was out with that injury she picked up during the Euros. That's nice from Little. Here's Mornham. Russo's forced wide by the pass. Nice build up this from Arsenal. Beth Mead now, and the flag is up against her.
just gone offside there, but it's good play from Arsenal. Good combination play in the wide areas. You know, they're so good at that. They're so good at creating numbers up in areas all around the pitch, but more so in those wide areas.
Two Arsenal players that won't be featuring this afternoon, Chloe Kelly and Daphne Van Domsen, are both still out injured.
I do feel like Arsenal will miss Chloe Kelly, more so coming off the bench is what she's been excellent at. And just changing the game and creating something different in wide areas for them.
United have a couple of players on the physio table as well. Noella Toon, she's out for a couple of weeks with a hip issue. Leah Galton and Gabby George also missing. And they've also sent Rachel Williams and Hannah Blundell on loan to other clubs, so making room for the new signings. Turlin pokes it back to Mallard. Here is Melvin Mallard again, up against McCabe. Riviere. Back by Arsenal, but they can't keep it. Miyazawa. Riviere delivers. Secondary clearance from Mead. Good moment of sustained pressure from Manchester United, and Mallard with the volley as it spins out.
Yeah, it's better from United. It's a great ball in from Riviere, first time ball across. And we've seen how dangerous United are when that ball is delivered into those spaces.
Olivia Smith in a more central position, doesn't get the foul she felt she deserved. Park. 2 goals in her last 2 for Manchester United in all competitions before the break. Little comes away with it.
We're so used to seeing Latoon in that area and that 10, and I think they miss her. They're missing her this game. Jess Park's a good player, but just not on the same page, those movements.
Recently received an MBE as well, Ella Toon. As Mallard comes forward, finds Turland, her touch heavy, and takes her into the path of Catley. A little bit ragged, a little bit scrappy from both sides at the start of this second period.
Yeah, it is, and looking at Mallard, I don't think she did great first half, but I think we've seen there exactly what she's good at. And that's good at 1v1s, running at players. More of an individual player. It's just that final ball and that link-up play needs a little bit more work.
Back it goes to Leah Williamson. So crucial for Arsenal in terms of her defensive ability, but also in terms of her passing. She picks out a really good ball to find Olivia Smith. Riviere on a yellow card, remember, so she'll have to be careful with the way she challenges. McCabe now around the corner for Mornham. Red shirts waiting in the box. Kim Little. Fox has made the run towards the back post. And it's just enough by Anna Sandberg to prevent the header back across goal.
Yeah, but United are playing a dangerous game here. Just backing off, leaving that back post vulnerable again. And Sandberg really needs to be careful there. He lost where Fox was, didn't have a clue. She was right behind her and didn't manage to get anything on it. Luckily for her, to be honest.
Her boot also a little high. Kind of challenge that if you catch an opponent in the face, the referee is often quite predisposed to give a free kick, or in that case a penalty. Here comes Caldente. Mornham now, the shot blocked by Janssen, who in a bit of a hurry, clears it out for a throw-in.
Again, an opportunity missed from Arsenal. United giving the ball away. Huge gaps in that central area. Monum just looks a little bit like she's lacking confidence. That's 2 shots now she hasn't put full effort in and full power.
Russo now gets away from a defender. All across, met by Letitia though, who dwelt on it a little bit too long, and the Arsenal fans are roaring for a penalty they're not going to get in that situation.
No, I don't think it is a penalty, but it's been happening too many times for this United team. Just delaying on the ball, not looking sharp enough, not quick to react.
And you spoke about a lack of confidence with Frida Mornham. Well, she hasn't scored in the WSL since late September. So that tracks. Arsenal work it out.
It's difficult, isn't it, Flo, for Mornham? Whenever she gets a chance to start, I'm sure she feels like she has to prove herself and has to perform and play so well that she's difficult to drop, and that's really a lot of pressure on a player, and I think she is looking like she's playing with pressure on her shoulders.
Brilliant challenge from Williamson on the first attempt and the second. And yeah, Frida Mornham, just her 5th BWSL start today. Midfield. That final midfield slot is very much up for grabs. Kim Little and Caldente, the 2 nailed-on midfielders, but aside from that, it's either Mornham, Hairakuni Cross, who of course isn't here today, and Victoria Pelova, who rotate in those positions. And we're hearing that Lea Schuler might be about to come on for Manchester United for her debut. Chance though for United here. Jess Park gets it onto her left and it's blocked well by Williamson. Rolfo was out there in space though, and the pass didn't come to her.
It's a much better press from United though. Too many times have they allowed Arsenal to be able to get on the ball and switch it. In that occasion, they refused the switch and locked them in one side, and were just able to get pressure on the ball.
Looks like 2 changes then for United. Samir Wujo also readying herself. Williamson with the big diagonal. Flicked on by Caldente. Smith forward for Mornham. Caldente. Riviere with the crucial block, corner for Arsenal.
Well, it's a difficult job for that United midfield, isn't it? We're playing against high class players, and Kim Little, Mariona, Monum, who just move so well. And I think Miyazawa is struggling there to cover in those wide areas, and she's staying really central.
Man United will wait to make those changes. Caitlin Ford and Beth Mead just catching up on the sidelines, as you do. Arsenal looked threatening from corners in the first half. Not able to massively test Tullis Joyce, can they now? In swinger, cleared at the first post. He delivers again. It's also cleared relatively easily. Centre forwards have stayed high. Russo on the spin. Good looking ball in, and Tullis Joyce does well.
Good goalkeeping, very commanding. As soon as that ball is left in the air for that long, you'd expect a goalkeeper like Tullis Joyce to come and claim that, but good work from Russo. It just looks so easy for her, doesn't it? She's on the ball just to turn.
United still waiting to make those changes. Here's Letitia to Tullis-Joyce. Missed 3 games for United in November with an eye socket fracture. Sounds like a really painful injury. And they really missed her when she was out as well. That's a big Champions League game.
Actually not.
Is that something you've suffered from?
Of course, you do as a goalkeeper. Can't remember missing games though. I think I still have a fractured socket, to be honest. Probably not the healthiest thing.
Emily Fox battling away with Sandberg, and she does really well, the Swedish left back. Does just enough.
She's good. She's really good at that, Sandberg. She's good in 1v1s and recovering. She's strong. Players find it really difficult to get round her.
So here comes Manchester United's shiny new signing then. Elizabeth Turland coming off for Leah Schuler. Her Manchester United debut. She scored more than 100 goals for Bayern Munich. Won 4 Bundesliga titles. She is a landmark signing for United, no mistake about it. Other change sees Fridolina Rolfo make way for Simi Awujo, so perhaps a change in shape for United, or maybe Park will push further forward. We'll keep an eye on that.
I think Park might go out onto the left-hand side. And Awujo just drops in and helps Miyazawa, because she was struggling a little bit in central areas.
Schuler with her first touch, a little block. And a flag up against Beth Mead just as Morden finds herself in space in the box.
We'll see now, United in possession, their shape.
Caitlin Ford coming on then for Arsenal imminently. Maybe that's what she was telling Beth Mead in the corner. I'm coming on for you.
Beth Mead smiled back at her. You can see Awujo just in that 10 area, perhaps bulking up more in midfield. And Park gone to the right-hand side. Mallard has gone left. And I feel like Awujo's just given a little bit more defensively in that area. Perhaps this is where we'll see United try and play a little bit more wide.
Leah Williamson finds Smith, but the header, a difficult one to execute.
You know, Jade Riviera is so good at getting forward, such a good attacking fullback, but she does have to be careful. Olivia Smith is staying high.
As the clock ticks on, first goal feels more and more important. Both these sides are unbeaten in the league when they've gone ahead. Katie McCabe, far forward for a left back, looking for options. Finds her centre back, Catley. Intricate triangle passing from Arsenal, but move breaks down.
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it, for United? They've got a block back there. They've got everyone's behind the ball. So no one to pass forward to, and that's what Jade Riviera is complaining about. There's nobody higher. Because again, it's what I said earlier, can they just keep it? Perhaps you have to go back to the keeper there to try and switch it out.
It's not Beth Mead who's coming off, it's in fact Olivia Smith for Caitlin Ford. And Frida Mornham makes way for Stina Blackstenius. So, as we usually see in this situation, Rousseau drops into the 10 to allow Blackstenius to be the furthest forward. Is that a move that you like from Arsenal, Emma?
Yeah, I do. I like Russo a little bit deeper. She gets on the ball a little bit more. She's such a good hold-up player. So it just allows the other two midfielders to have that confidence in getting forward as well, because as soon as that goes to Russo, she's not losing it. Makes a difference.
Beth Mead in space, ball across, cut out. That's really been the story of Arsenal so far. The balls into the box from wide, haven't found a red shirt. One back by Caldente. Here is Alessia Russo. Well, a Manchester United player, of course, although a number of seasons now she is firmly an Arsenal fan favourite, as Riviere might be going off here. Yes, she is. Second yellow card for Jade Riviere. Maya Letitia, the Manchester United captain, is arguing it, but that's not going to change. She was walking on a tightrope when she got that first yellow in the first half, and she's got her marching orders now.
Yeah, it's the type of player she is. And, you know, it's the only 2 fouls she's committed in the game, to be honest, but they're reckless and just late and a little bit dangerous. I do think it warrants it, but it's again, it's harsh on her because she's only committed those 2 fouls and she's had a really good game. But she is aggressive in her defending. It's what you want from your defenders. She's kept Olivia Smith very, very quiet. Now there's a big, big task for United, and you can see Mark Skinner here just having a look at exactly what he's going to do, because if they didn't have numbers up in the first half, they certainly won't be having any in this one. They're just going to have to sit back and defend and try and keep this scoreline.
Might we see another debut then? Lundqvist is a full-back. She could come in for Manchester United. You've got to play good 25 minutes plus injury time now with 10 players. Opportunity this for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, they need to sort it out quickly, because at the moment they aren't covering that right back position. You can see Jess Park there is trying to block them off, and it's actually Olme who's dropped in there. She can do a job, but...
And that move from Tullis Joyce to go down gets a pretty resounding boo from the Emirates. I think they suspect she is down to allow Mark Skinner to reset, and I think it's not contentious to say that's what she's doing.
I always look at the keeper that's on the bench. If they're not warming up, then it's clear as day. But you know what? It's in the rule book, so that's what happens. And he does need this moment to organise his team, because I can't imagine Julia Olme Zigliotti is going to stay in that right back position. Some
quick conversations going on between Mark Skinner and his technical side. This, remember, is his 100th WSL game in charge. We want to celebrate it with a win. It's looking more like a distant possibility now with 10 players.
Thank you, Mr. Quick support here today at Emirates Stadium. Today's crowd is 37,627.
So you can hear from the stadium announcer, a good number here at the Emirates, 37,000 plus. Majority, of course, supporting Arsenal. Well, they had to cheer a goal. It was 0-0 when these sides last met in the league earlier in this season, away in Manchester. Are we heading for another score draw? So United have reorganised. Looks like Zigliotti Olma's still playing in that right back slot.
Mark Skinner might just try and hold on a little bit. It's difficult to bring a new player in there when you know your team's going to be under so much pressure.
Williamson, square to Catley. Can Arsenal make their numerical advantage pay? Blackstenius, forced away from goal. And out by Janssen.
This is going to be a very long 25 minutes or so for United. And you can see there, perhaps we will get to see the substitution from United.
Caitlin Ford finds McCabe. Into Russo, takes it on the turn. Gonna get space off for the shot, couldn't quite manage it. She's so good at taking the ball with the outside of her foot and spinning away from the defender. It's something she's really mastered. Williamson now delivers it goalwards. Headed up but not out, and Blackstenius takes a swing at it. Russo is there and just off the line from Sandberg and Tullis-Joyce.
Wasn't sure where that one was going to go. It's a great ball in from Leah Williamson. Just bobbled about. It's actually come off Sandberg. Tullis-Joyce will be very grateful to get that in her hands.
Poorly given away there by Arsenal. Here comes Schuler. Back to Sandberg. There's 3 black shirts in the penalty area if they want to put it in, United. Awujo. Quite hold it up. And then she brings down Emily Fox. And United will make that change. Then it's the debut for new Swedish signing Lundqvist. And it's a short shift for Simi Awujo, only on the field for 10 minutes. She's the player sacrificed now that United have gone down to 10 players.
It's difficult, isn't it? Obviously Mark Skinner wants to keep Olme on the pitch, her experience, and just sitting in that midfield. It's just very important to keep her on there. Needed a natural right back.
Two Swedish fullbacks then for United. Mallard, we're back in our own penalty area. Schuler had made the run into the channel. Williamson for company.
That's good play, calm play from Mallard, wasn't it? Just to keep the ball. There's the first time we've seen it all game. United being calm in the build.
Here's the debutante spinning away. Back in field to Janssen. United with a player fewer, but it's them who's in possession. Miyazawa turns away from a couple of players. Her shot blocked again by Williamson. Now off goes Stina Blackstenius. Dealt with just about by Tullis-Joyce. That's a bit rough, isn't it, for Simi Awujo?
It is, it is. I'm sure she will have a conversation and it will be explained, but actually it's probably the right decision. Wants to keep Zigiardi on the pitch, just brought Schuler on. You've got your midfield there already who are secured enough in the first half, and then you've got Mallard who'll go a little bit higher. Probably her best position, to be quite honest, to be more central.
Ford finds Russo, but Leticia gets there ahead of her. pressure is on Arsenal now, really, to go on and win this. They've got
100%.
They've got a tough set of fixtures coming up in the WSL. They've got Chelsea away next in the league, Manchester City soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the manner of it as well, isn't it?
Beth Mead in space, whips the ball across, flicked around the corner by Stina Blackstenius, and Tallis Joyce was there.
I just feel like it's coming though. Speaking of the manner, like, I'm sure there was a conversation, and can we be more ruthless in games that we've worked together and that I've watched? I think you should be 3-4-0 up here, and you always allow teams to get back in or give them the opportunity, whereas realistically this game should be put to bed before half-time. So they'll be a little bit disappointed that they haven't done that already, but more so at the end if they don't win, because they've had opportunities. United gone to a goal down, they haven't played well. United, they haven't kept the ball well. The opportunity is there for Arsenal.
With Manchester City playing very well at the moment, Arsenal can't afford to drop any more points. Renee Slagers will be fully aware of that. As things stand, Arsenal are 7 points off leaders Manchester City, having played one game more, but they've still got 15 minutes to turn this draw into a win. Mead does well to won it initially, but can't keep it in. Mark Skinner looking a little cross. He would have felt a bit hard done by that red card for Jade Riviere. Into the final quarter of an hour, and no side in the BWSL has scored more goals in the final 15 minutes of games than Arsenal. 9 scored in the final quarter of an hour. Can they find one here?
And these are the moments that Arsenal can be very dangerous. That turnover, the transition to attack, they're good at that.
Mead into Blackstenius. She dinks it up, and Sandberg's there. In fact, it's Lundqvist, brilliant defending to put that behind for a corner. She had to be really careful not to knock that in her own goal.
That was a good decision. And she kind of been sure how close Russo was to her. She still looked calm and control, but really good decision from her.
Manchester United will be really pleased that they got that deal done early now, with Riviere out of this and suspended for the next one. Dinked in by Caldente, punched by Tallis Joyce. Punch that was really good as well. Mead now into Caldente. Her ball across. Doesn't find anybody in the box.
And they've done that all game. Arsenal in their set pieces, corners particularly, just having numbers up in wide areas. United really struggling to get players out there to put any pressure on, but Mariona had so much time there, she could have actually had a touch and a shot.
Yellow card for time wasting for the Manchester United goalkeeper. Blackstenius back to Caldente. Evades 2 challenges. Doesn't quite find Fox, and we spoke a bit about it earlier, Emma, but Arsenal looking a little rusty. The final ball, the final pass, final shot, not quite what is required.
Yeah, but it's in the second half, Flo. It's the same story. They play well, they move the ball well, they don't score from it, and then they just take their foot off the pedal. They step back a bit. Things get a little bit sloppy. They allow teams back into the game, and it's not through goals, it's through mistakes and through taking their foot off the gas. And it's a perfect example again. And I thought, you know, we'd see something different from Arsenal coming out of the Christmas break, because it is probably their only thing they needed to speak about. They're playing well, they score goals, they're defending much better than they did last season. They've definitely sorted that. Their set pieces are really, really good. They do need to work on punishing teams when they're on top.
Arsenal on top with one player more. Riviere being sent off for 2 yellow cards, offences on the 65th minute. Catley spreads it out to fellow Australian Caitlin Ford. Really good defending by Lundqvist. She's looked really quality since coming on.
Really, really good defending. Caitlin Ford is not easy to defend against. What about these two players? Welcome to the BWSL, Schuler and Lundqvist. By the way, Schuler, you're going to be playing 9, and there's so much running you have to do, and you can see her up there. She's trying to cover the whole of Arsenal's back line.
Arsenal changes them in the offing. Renee Slagers wanting to go for it in the final 10 minutes. Pullover and the new addition, Holmberg, are ready to come on. Katie McCabe finds Ford. Into Blackstenius, breaks for Ford again, who gets it across. Not by Zagotti-Olma. United have no way to relieve the pressure, though. Ford finds Russo. A little imprecise from Arsenal, and now here comes Leah Schuler. 2v2, if United can make it count. Finds Mallard. Brilliant defensive work, great from Emily Fox.
Yeah, it was really good from Emily Fox to get back there, but you know, Schuler did really well. I thought it was a good decision for her to keep a hold of the ball. It's just asking Mallard, can you give that little bit extra?
Arsenal look for the direct ball in behind for Blackstenius, well defended by Letitia. In from Ford, breaks for Alessia Russo, doesn't quite get that.
I'm just wondering why Tullis Joyce is not communicating there. There's enough time for her to come out and collect that, and that's huge for a team that's under pressure like United are, for your goalkeeper to be a little bit more authoritative there. Waste a little bit more time.
Melvin Mallard, game becoming a bit transitional in the final stages. Miyazawa. Arsenal dominating the ball and the shots, but they've been wasteful with the opportunities. Only 4 shots on target. And here come those Arsenal changes then. First one sees Victoria Pullover coming on for Beth Mead. And the second change, a debut for Smilla Holmberg, 19-year-old from Hammarby, comes on to replace Emily Fox. It'll be a like-for-like change at full-back.
Yeah, straight swap for Holmberg. Interesting to see how she does, because I think Emily Fox has been excellent. Again, she's so good at recovering, isn't she, those runs. And then you've got changes for United.
Lisa Nolson coming on for Jess Park as United look to shore things up from a defensive perspective and see out the game here.
Yeah, exactly. Jess Park hasn't seen a huge amount of the ball, has she? And it's just basically how United have been set up. But with Arsenal, with Pullover coming on, definitely will bring a little bit more power to the attack. Exciting to see now how Holmberg does fitting in, because she will be more attacking in this game.
Williamson. Holmberg screaming for it, and it goes to Blackstenius, who helps it round the corner for the debutante. Loses her first duel up against Sandberg, who clears downfield for United. Pullover finds Blackstenius, who turned well initially, but a good block from Dominic Janssen. Arsenal corner.
Good defending from Janssen. She knows that Blackstenius is so good at this as well, turning and getting her shot off, and doesn't allow her an inch of space here, which is what you expect from an experienced defender.
Strong aerial threat as well, Stina Blackstenius. And it comes from McCabe, met by Rousseau, kept alive by Williamson, who in fact hadn't kept it in, and it's a goal kick. I think Williamson thought she was letting it go for a corner, changed her mind last minute, and perhaps didn't keep the ball quite in play.
And that's probably what convinced the officials. It looks like she was trying to keep it in. It's gone well out. It's very brave by Zigiotti Olme.
Here's Caitlin Ford, goes for goal herself, and it's straight at Tullis Joyce. Pullover was an option on the right, but the Australian opting to go herself.
It's going to have to be good, isn't it, from that distance to beat Tullis Joyce.
Into the final 5 minutes. Can United hold on for a precious point, or can Arsenal find the goal to get 2026 off to a winning start? McCabe up to Rousseau. She'll take the corner.
It's good defending though from Letitia. I think the two centre halves for United have been excellent today. And Janssen and Letitia just not allowing Rousseau to turn on it, and then with Blackstenius coming on the same. And that is not an easy task.
In from Caldente. Clutch of United players clear it. Pullover. Back to Caldente. Leah Williamson's on the edge of the box. Rise of shoot. Squares it instead to Kim Little, who works it onto her right foot. Well, watched all the way. In it comes. Caitlin Ford is there. Good defending from Manchester United's captain.
Brilliant header. It's an absolutely brilliant header from Letitia.
McCabe's in behind now, a chance to cross. Looks for the cutback instead. Miyazawa alive to it. United defending well. McCabe into Pullover, cut out by Zigiotti Olme, cleared downfield.
Really is last-ditch defending here, isn't it? And just boot it anywhere you can. Waves of attack from Arsenal.
Waves of attack, but Tullis Joyce hasn't had to make too many incredible saves, really. A lot off target.
Yeah, there's a bit of fault from Arsenal, obviously, but also I do think United's centre of defence have been brilliant. Really helped their goalkeeper out.
Catley finds Pullover. Kim Little on the edge of the penalty area, shoots, and that take a nick off a United player. More frustration for Arsenal and Kim Little.
Yeah, it's another corner for them. It's a good ball in from Catley. It's actually Miyazawa gets across, gets a toe in it.
Renee Slager's looking to bring Ruben Moy on late. In fact, she might bring her on for this corner. She's very good at headers.
She's coming on for set pieces.
McCabe swings it in. Tullis Joyce holds on to it well.
Good take. Exactly what you need in these situations. To take a bit of pressure off you she plays quickly, which I'm surprised about. I think she's worried about the booking of in the first few minutes in this half.
McCabe wins the free kick in a very good position. Zagottiolna with the foul. Arsenal presented with a golden opportunity for a shot on target.
It's a clever play from Katie McCabe, but it is a foul. It's a tired tackle.
Ruben Moy on then for Steph Catley. And who's your money on taking this, Emma?
Well, I always get it wrong, so I would say Katie McCabe, because it's a perfect position for a left footer. Plus she got the foul. It is going to be her. I'm right for once.
Can Katie McCabe strike late here to break United hearts? In fact, it's Caldente and it's straight at the wall.
I said I was consistent, didn't I?
Russo. Out to Pelova. Her cross is a good one. Met by Blackstenius. Back to Williamson. She hooks it back goalwards. And Ford's header cleared by Mallard into the final minute of the 90. Ball's put back into United's box. Out it goes by Norsund. How many minutes of injury time will be on the end? Sounding like it's going to be around 7. And it is announced as 7.
Still time.
In from Pelova. Out by United. And it really is attack versus defence now.
This is like training session, a phase of attack. There's some really tired legs out there from United.
And they hang on for 7 more minutes. Ford skips past their defender. Hits it towards the back post. Headed back across goal, out by Janssen. The flag up though against Ruben Moy for offside.
Ruben Moy is just staying up there at this stage. She's staying on that high line. And Arsenal are just trying to get the ball and get it in the box. I'm not sure if she was offside there. It didn't really look like that obvious.
Tallis-Joyce will go long. Arsenal win it back immediately. Cleared by Janssen. One back by McCabe. She finds Ford, who'd spotted the run of Blackstenius, but on it goes through to Tallis-Joyce.
Not the time, Tallis-Joyce. Not the time to do it. But going back to United, and we can talk about Arsenal and their lack of urgency, but when United do have the ball, they really need to do whatever they can to keep it. And you know, they're good players. Can they protect it? It doesn't have to go forward. You don't have to create chances, but you do have to keep it.
Poorly given away there by Williamson. Will United attack or take to the corner? United win the throw-in. Good work from Lundqvist. Very promising debut from her.
Yeah, she's been good, hasn't she? She's come with a lot of experience, and that's pretty obvious.
Flicked on by Pelova. Here is Russo. Arsenal can come away with it now with Kim Little. She finds Homburg. Swedish teenager running forward with purpose. Ball across is a good one, and she found Blackstenius, but blocked by Janssen, who's blocked so many shots this second half.
Really important block. Those are the ones, aren't they, that you just see so many times hitting the back of the net.
Here's Homburg again. Another good-looking delivery over the head of Ruben Moy. Mariona Caldente now. Kim Little. Pelova. Homburg. Cross too close to Tullis Joyce. She's the pantomime villain this afternoon, isn't she, Tullis Joyce?
She won't mind that. She won't mind that at all. Every precious second wasted.
3 minutes of the 7 added on to play then. Here's Russo. Pelova in space on the right. Victoria Pelova gets the shot in, and it's well saved by Tullis Joyce, who just about prevents the corner.
This is a problem for Arsenal. When they leave it to the last dying minutes of a game, so many times we've seen them score, and they can score. You've said it yourself, they hold that record. But when you're playing against a team that have a world-class goalkeeper, it becomes a really big problem, because you need to score a good goal, and it has to be a good shot to beat a keeper like Fallon Tullis Joyce.
Mallard. Shots coming forward here for United. Olma back to Sandberg. Tullis Joyce downfield. One back by Arsenal. Here's Caitlin Ford. Finds Caldente. Alessia Russo. Trying to get space for the shot. Comes back for Kim Little, who's goal! Bound effort. Ricochets wide.
Oh, I'd like to see a different angle on that, because that looked close. Again, it's another good block. It's close enough. It's just drifting wide. She kind of comes across it. It's always going to go a little bit wider, but it certainly had Tullis Joyce worried and stretched.
Olma holding on to it. United managing these final seconds really well.
I think they've managed the second half well. And going to play her down, I think it's made them realise that they need to keep the ball, and they can't be 100% going forward all the time, and it suits them. It's better for them. They haven't created anything, but at least they were keeping the ball a little bit in the second half.
Last chance saloon for Arsenal. Crowd willing them forward. Seconds ticking away. Kim Little. Williamson delivers. Breaks for Caldente. One back by Homburg. Caldente to Kim Little, but the pass inaccurate, and now here comes Leah Schuler. McCabe and Williamson contrive to win the ball back, and that is it then. 10-woman Manchester United hold on for a precious point. New year, same old Arsenal though, unable to make the possession and the pressure tell. Jade Riviere sent off on the 65th minute, so Arsenal had 25 minutes plus stoppage time against 10 players. They had chance after chance, but they didn't really test Tullis Joyce all too much. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Emma Byrne.
Yeah, disappointing. You could see on Renee Slager's face there, she's disappointed, and they should be. Again, it's the same story, not turning the screw, not pushing, not being more aggressive.
Full time, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Mark Skinner probably will go away the happier manager after his side went down to 10 players. Hung on for that point. The table stays as it is, though, with Manchester United a point off Arsenal and outside of the Champions League places. But for Arsenal, it's more ground lost in the title race.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think it's another lesson learned that they can't wait till the last 20 minutes to up the ante, to be a bit more urgent. They should do that right from the beginning. You know, they can destroy teams. They've got the players. They do it, and then they just sit back when things don't go their way, or, you know, things hasn't gone to plan. But can't be the way.
So the score, as it was last time these sides met in the BWSL, 0-0. And look at the stats from the game. 25 shots Arsenal had. 6 of them on target, though. They created 2.38 XG, unable to score a goal off that.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? You know, I think United, in fairness to them, I thought they defended deep. I thought they defended very, very well, deep and centrally. And, you know, you said it, Mark Skinner is definitely going to be the happier manager coming away here. You can see their interceptions, 11. You know, I just feel like Arsenal weren't moving the ball as efficient as they can do. And certainly things to learn from this game for the Gunners.
Let's take a look at the highlights then from the game. And Manchester United came quick out the blocks. Their best, earliest chance, a header from Fridolin Arolfo.
It's probably the best chance of the game, really. Certainly is the best save of the game.
Arsenal then created through Alessia Russo and Olivia Smith, unable to make it tell.
Really important save from Tullis Joyce, and she's been a bit of a hero of today's game for United, for sure.
Caldente and McCabe also crafted a good opportunity, which Kim Little couldn't quite take.
Huge gaps there, wasn't there? Little had a lot of time there, and you can see how disappointed she is. Normally so clinical.
Good ball in from Katie McCabe, nearly fell for Russo, whose shot was well saved by Tullis Joyce.
United again getting bodies behind the ball. Well aware of what Alessia Russo can do. Trying to get tight on her, not giving her that space.
And late one, Arsenal pushed and pushed to get back level. Russo nearly smuggling that over the line.
Probably the closest they came there. Again, it's a little bit sloppy from everyone.
Stina Blackstenius came on to bolster Arsenal's attacking opportunities, and she had a couple.
Great ball from Beth Mead, isn't it?
Caitlin Ford also another attacking sub. That shot straight down the throat of Tullis Joyce.
Yeah, and we didn't even see the free kick in the first half, did we? The back post, which should have been a goal.
Another save by Tullis Joyce from Victoria Pelova.
You can see this is a better angle. Tullis Joyce does really well just to get down and to keep it in.
Kim Little sent a shot spinning away from goal late on in the game. Nothing between these sides then at the break as old teammates and friends catch up. One thing that will be exciting for both these sides, despite the scoreline, is the debutantes. Holmberg coming on for Arsenal. She looked good going forward. And as for Manchester United, we didn't get to see too much of Lea Schuler as United went down to 10 players, but Lundqvist certainly made an impression.
She did. And it was a good move from Mark Skinner. It's exactly what United needed, a little bit more quality in those wide areas. I think Schuler, I mean, she does well. You can see she's an experienced player, but it's difficult to play up there and try and cover that space.
A draw then on Mark Skinner's 100th game in charge of Manchester United in the Barclays Women's Super League. Probably a point he'll be quietly pleased with after that red card to Jade Riviere.
Yeah, he'll be delighted about that, because it wasn't pretty from United, was it? They sat back from the beginning, and that's fine. They can sit back and they can soak up the pressure, but I said it already, very, very poor in possession, giving away the ball. Retaining it was not a big thing for them today, but again, they'll be happy with the draw. It's a good result for them.
So it's ended here, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. That's the only game today in the Barclays Women's Super League. Tomorrow, all the other teams are in action. Aston Villa are at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. The reigning champions Chelsea at home to West Ham under their new manager. The league leaders Manchester City take on Everton at home. Tottenham Hotspur hosting Leicester City, and bottom of the table Liverpool hosting another team with a new manager, London City Lionesses. So here's how the table looks then after that result, and it's the same as it was before the game. Manchester City top of the table, 30 points. Chelsea in second, 6 points behind them. Arsenal still in third position, but 7 points behind Manchester City, who can stretch that to 10-point gap over Arsenal tomorrow if they win their game. Arsenal's title ambitions look to be fading away already. Manchester United in fourth position, and they'll be pleased with that point, but they still sit outside the European places, and that will be something that they'll want to press on in the second half of this season and make sure they're playing in Europe next campaign, especially with the players that they've signed. Tottenham having a very good season. They're in fifth, and their result today between United and Arsenal means that Tottenham can go ahead of Manchester United at least. It would require some swing in terms of goal difference for them to leapfrog their North London rivals. And as for the bottom of the table, well, West Ham and Liverpool very much battling it out to see who can avoid that relegation spot. Of course, the Barclays Women's Super League a little different this year in terms of relegation. The side that finishes 12th in that final spot will play a play-off against the third place WSL 2 team, so they might not be relegated. And let's get some post-match reaction now.
A point gained here at the Emirates. How do you kind of sum up that game?
It's been a bit of a wild ride today, to be honest, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think we can be happy with a point.
You defended really well. It came up against a lot of Arsenal possession. How is that unit between you and Letizia as well really developing?
Yeah, I think just the more you play together, the better you get at it. And I don't think we need to speak a lot, but we know, what we need to do each other. And yeah, I think it's going pretty well today. We defended really good, Mia as well, but also the fullbacks did really well. The midfielders probably ran their asses off. So yeah, I think it's just the whole team that just did everything today.
Obviously, the big moment of the game was when Jade Riviere got sent off. How do you adjust as a team and regroup?
Yeah, it's just quickly to set up as quick as possible, and I think we did it before we even had Fallon go down to just discuss tactical changes. But I think it's good that we know as a group what we have to do in that situation. Sigiotti also going straight away to right back. She knows, okay, I have to offer myself to play there, a striker going back down. So I think the team knows what to do in that situation, and that's one of our strengths. And yeah, I think we defended really well.
And finally, you now got a week off until the FA Cup. How do you recover and go for that one?
It's nice that we now have some time off before going back to training, and then yeah, have a full week going into that game. So yeah, lots of preparations.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys.
Well done.
So Arsenal held to a 0-0 draw here at the Emirates in the first WSL game back after the winter break. That's it from our coverage. Until next time.